my favorite mathematicians. Happy Tuesday. How you doing? Hope you had some good sleeps last night and you are ready to rock with some new learning today. I'm going to get started on our morning message, then I'll turn over here to do calendar, and then we will do a little bit of number bound work for our math lesson. So here we go. This says, good morning, mathematicians. A mathematician is somebody who is an expert at math. It is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Yesterday, we began learning about bugs. What do you think is the most interesting insect? Really? I personally like butterflies. I think that those cute little caterpillars are adorable when they're caterpillars, and I think that the metamorphosis that they go through to become a beautiful butterfly is super, super interesting. Those are my favorite insects. Our new power word is, drumroll please, that. Oh my golly, look at that. I see another power word that starts with that buzzy sound. That. At is actually another one of our power words, and I could figure that out, or I could figure out what this word is by making the sound and then adding at to the end. At. That. There is our new power word for the day. That. T-H-A-T. That spells that. Let's clap it out. T-H-A-T. That spells that. Let's write it in the air. T-H-A-T. Let's underline it when we say the word. That. Sorry for the beeping still. Let's write it on our hand. T-H-A-T. That. One more time on the carpet. T-H-A-T. That. Wonderful job. This is the word that, and it is our power word of the day. I will add it to our power word ring. If you want to do some practice writing that power word today, send me pictures. If you want to paint it in shaving cream, write it in your yard, do one of these rainbow word work pages, whatever you would like to do. I'm sure Mrs. Smart will upload an activity for the word that. I can't wait to see them on Seesaw. This says, practice, 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 reading and writing it. The word that. Love you all. Be safe and have fun. Love, your teachers. We love you so much and we miss you. Get ready for a little calendar now. Think while I'm getting switched over here, what day of the week do you think it is? And see if you could say the entire date all by yourself, independently. Here we go. Hey, I'm back. Are you ready for calendar? Here we go. When I look at the calendar, I see that today is the 21st of the month. When I follow that up to find out what day of the week it is, I know that it is Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Are you ready for our Days of the Week song in Spanish? Trickster, we didn't start in English. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Lunes, martes, miércoles, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo, domingo. Nice job. I know I tricked you up a little bit because we usually start with the days of the week in English, but we're getting fancy around here. You ready for our months of the year? Think in your head real quick, how many months are there in a year? Did you say 12? Woohoo! Here we go. 1, 2, 3. January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. There are 12 months in a year. Good work. I dropped my September card, so I have to make sure that I put it, oh, actually I dropped the August one, so I'll make sure I put them back in order the way that they belong. And of course I have to fish out the month of the month that we're in right now, which is what? April, woohoo! During April, we know that the season is spring. Usually, I know I've said this a lot lately, usually we get to start seeing that sunny weather, maybe some rain, some cloudy weather, lots of rainbows. So hopefully we'll start to see those things soon. Today's weather is what? Head to the window, check it out, bring it on back. I'll give you 10 seconds. My meteorologists, go ahead. Okay, meteorologists, when you checked out the window, what did you find? I'm wondering, the weather. Is it rainy? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? Is it snowy? Is it thunderstorms? What did you find outside? Wonderful. All right, good job. If we know that today is Tuesday, that means yesterday was, let me check the calendar, Tuesday. Yesterday, remember, is that day that already happened before you went to sleep last night. It was Monday. Nice job. If yesterday was Monday, that means today is Tuesday. And tomorrow will be Wednesday. Wonderful work. Remember, our days of the week are all 2G power words. So if you're starting to recognize those days of the week, good job. This is for you. All right, my friends, I think that pretty much wraps up calendar. I do have a number, a 100s chart here. Maybe I'll cut these out, paste them together, and post a picture. You guys can always practice counting to 100 like we used to with our days of the school year. Why don't we do a little bit of power word work before we head out to our math lesson? Here we go. In, to, see, we, all, are, like, yes, love, I, lots, go, at, for, get, no, said, she, big, down, they, went, who, and, there, and our new one of the day, that. Oh, look, that card matches my nail polish. Nice job. Please remember, if you think you are doing a rock star job, which all of you are, with your power words, and you know most of them, why don't you go back and try spelling them? Because wonderful first grade readers don't only know how to read their 1G power words, they also know how to spell them. And there's a couple of tricky ones in there. That's why they're power words, because you're not always going to be able to hear every sound in these words. So if you are totally rocking these out and you're thinking, this is Genecco, those are old, they're kind of boring to me now because I've got them all down, that is so good. It's like music to my ears. But now, let's start spelling them. That will be the real test. All right, love you guys. I'm going to take a brief pause. I'm going to have you pause the video, get up, do some stretching, maybe do some running in place, do some push-ups to get yourself ready for the math lesson that's headed your way. Here we go, number bonds, woohoo! All right, here's the part where I ask you to pause the video, show an adult this screen so that they know what you're expected to learn today and what you'll be able to do when we finish this lesson. You can also check to see what materials you're going to need and the activities that you'll be able to find on Seesaw when you're all done. Enjoy! Get ready, now we're going to do some counting with this Reckon Wreck. When I move a bead, we'll count by ones. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to try counting the say 10 way, which means I'm going to count how many bundles of 10 and then the extra ones after that. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many ones? 10. 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4, 10, 5, 10, 6, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9, 2, 10. That means we have 2 groups of 10. We know that 2 groups of 10 is the same as 20. Nice job. You can access this Rec and Rec and lots of other math manipulatives by going to the website didax.com. didax.com. All right, I'm going to get started with our math lesson for today. Our job today is actually to work on number bonds. We are going to be representing, putting together and taking apart groups of numbers using pictures and numbers in these number bonds. So get your brain ready to be putting together and taking apart numbers using both pictures, which we know are circles in math, and numbers. Here's your first job. Make sure that you have your materials. You need a whiteboard with your number bond in it, and a marker, and an eraser. If you do not have those materials, please pause the video now and go get them. All right, I'm going to get started. Our first job is to listen to my story and draw a picture on your number bond to match. Windsor the puppy was playing in the backyard when he found 5 bugs. Okay, there were 2 different kinds of bugs. Put some of the bugs he found here in one of the parts, and some of the bugs he found here in the other part. When you're all done with that, you'll draw all the bugs together here. Go ahead. If you need more time, pause the video until you're ready to continue. I decided for my number bond story that Windsor the puppy went outside and he found 1, 2, 3 green bugs, and he found 2 red bugs. Now, I absolutely could have drawn these as a circle like I asked you guys to do, but I used these bugs because I thought you guys would like them. In this story, he found 3 green grasshoppers, or crickets, not sure what they are, and 2 red ladybugs, okay? Your story does not have to be the same as mine because I didn't tell you how many of each bug he found. You might have said he found 4 of one type of bug and 1 of another kind of bug. You might have said that he found 5 of one kind of bug and 0 of another kind of bug. That's fine either way that you decide to do it. Your whole, however, should have a picture or a number with all the bugs together. So remember, if all my bugs come up to this party, I would have the 3 green bugs and the 2 red bugs. Let me fill that in for you to show you what it would look like. Here I had the 3 green bugs. Here I had the 2 red bugs. Remember, those are my 2 parts because they're different groups. And in here, I would have my 3 green bugs and my 2 red bugs. If I colored those in, you'd be able to see that these open circles represent the 3 green bugs that Windsor found, and the colored in circles represent the 2 red bugs that Windsor found. Remember, it's okay if yours was different than that. That's actually good. We're trying to find out and see that there are different ways to solve these problems. Good work. Okay, my loves, pause the video now so you can erase your board and start with a clean, fresh slate. Notice I've changed the orientation or the way that my number bond is facing. So make sure that yours is facing the same way as mine, unless you're looking for a challenge. If you're looking for a little bit of a challenge, put your number bond in a different direction and see if you can stay with me. All right, we are going to use some shapes in our math story right now. What do you notice about these shapes that I have? Oh, did somebody say they're green and yellow? Did somebody else say they're all triangles? We know that triangles have 3 flat sides and 3 corners. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Okay, I would like to do a number bond today, right now, where we're taking this group apart to kind of break it down into the different parts that we have. So let's start with our 4 triangles up in our party circle. Woo! The parties was a triangle party, a triangle party. They were wearing their hats at the triangle party. Oh yeah, they're partying. All of a sudden, the green guys went home. And then the yellow sisters headed to their home. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. We started with how many triangles in this circle, the party circle? 4, exactly. And because they were nice, simple shapes to draw, I'm going to draw those instead of just the circles for now. You can absolutely draw circles if you'd like. I'm also going to add not only the picture, but I'm going to start adding the numbers here. There were 4 triangles at the party. When the yellow sisters went home, how many yellow sisters went to their house? 2 of them, exactly. So let me draw those triangles. You can do the same. Remember, pause the video if I'm going faster than you can. And the Green brothers hopped over to their house. There were also 2 triangles there. When I look at our number bond like this, I could see that my whole, the party circle all together, had 4 triangles in it. But my 2 parts were 2 and 2. I'm sorry for the beeping still. Oh, we need to get batteries. The parts were 2 and 2. Let's break down and talk about what you just did with a number sentence. Remember, that's that sentence that has the numbers and the signs, and it's showing us that we can put numbers together or take numbers apart. We started with our numbers together. The parts were together in the whole, and we had 4. So we started with 4, and then we know we broke them apart, which means it's going to be the same as saying, what are my parts? 4 is the same as my part, which is 2, the green triangles, and my other part, which is 2, which talks about the yellow triangles. That is what you just did on this number bond. Give yourself a boom. Boom! Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a kiss the brain. Give yourself an oh yeah. Nice job, guys. Why don't we try a little something different? So I'm going to have you pause the video, erase your board like I'm going to do as well. Voila! My board has been erased. As you can see, I've also changed orientation, or the way in which my number bond is facing. Once again, go ahead and change your number bond so it matches mine. Unless you're looking for a little bit of a challenge and you think you're a total expert on recognizing which is the number, or which is the party circle, the whole, and which are the 2 parts. For those that need a review real quickly, that party circle, the whole, where everybody parties together, always has those 2 sidewalks coming off of it. The parts are only connected with 1 sidewalk. Okay, so here are my parts. Here's my whole. Let me show you the shapes I have for this number bond story. Take a look at those. Once again, we're going to do a number bond about these shapes. And I want to think about different ways that I could break these shapes into 2 groups. I know I need 2 parts whenever I do a number bond. So I'm thinking we could probably break them up into pink shapes and purple shapes. Maybe we could break them up into bigger shapes and smaller shapes. I actually want to break them up by shape this time, not color. I would like my two groups to be hearts and circles. So this time, as you can tell, it's a little bit different. Last time we started with all of these shapes at a big old party, right? We started with the whole group all together, having a fun old time at the party. This time, we're starting with the two groups separate, getting ready to head to the party together. Our number our number sentence will look a little bit different this time because instead of starting with all of our shapes in the party circle, the whole, we're going to start with those two parts. So those will come first in our number sentence, and our whole, the entire group together, will come at the very end. So this time, I'm going to check out these shapes. I'm going to replace the shapes with my drawings and the numbers. And finally, we'll get to writing our number sentence down here at the bottom. When I look at my first part, my circles, how many circles do I have inside of this group? Just one. Totally. I'll write the number 1. When I look over here, how many hearts do I have? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Good work. I, of course, could draw my circles because it's math, and if I'm not feeling like I'm the best heart artist and I don't want to take too much time practicing, draw some circles and fill them in. I happen to totally love drawing hearts, but I am going to make sure that I do it quickly and efficiently. So even though that's not my best heart, I'm not going to color it in and waste any time. I'm going to leave it, and I know that those 3 are hearts. I'm going to write the number what? 7? No. 2? I'm writing the number 3. Why did I write the number 3 in that circle? Right, because I had 3 hearts to talk about. Okay, so now my parts are showing the same thing that they did when my shapes were actually in those parts. Guess what? You guessed it. Shape party! Everybody come! All the shapes come! Purple shapes, green shapes, yellow shapes, blue shapes, circles, hearts, triangles too. Oh, there's a party? We're going to this party. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. 3 of my hearts. 1, 2, 3. All join the shape party. Guess who else joins? The circle. How many shapes are now in my whole circle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second. 3 hearts and 1 circle go to a party, and all of a sudden I have 4? You're telling me 3 and 1 makes 4? You guys are mathematicians. I knew it. Nice job. Again, I'm going to replace those drawings. Those shapes with drawings. And I'm going to write the number that I found belongs in that circle, which was what again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Our last job here is to simply write that number sentence down at the bottom. Remember at the beginning, I said this was going to be a little bit different than the last one because this time we didn't start with them all together. We actually started with them separate. So I'm going to start with my separate parts using the and sign to connect them. And then I'm going to say that it's the same as putting them all together in a group, just like I showed you with my fingers. 3 and 1 is the same as 4. I'm going to write that. 3. What's that 3 talking about? Elephants at the zoo? No. Beeps on my fire alarm? Definitely no. Cars in the garage? No, it's talking about the hearts. Okay, 3 and, that's a special sign for and, 1. Real quick, what's the one talking about? The excavators? The scissors at the kid's desk? Nope, no way. Talking about the circle. Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. We're still talking about hearts and circles. 3 and 1 is the same as You fancy mathematicians might know that as an equal sign. How many did we have all together? 4. 3 and 1 is the same as 4. Check it out. 3 hearts and 1 circle is the same as 4 of them all being together in a party. That is one way that you can make the number 4. Nice job, my friends. I'm going to move on. I think you've heard enough. I'm going to move on to your activity today, which is a page in your math binder. We'll have a problem set to do and a homework page to do. And I would love, love, love for you to upload any videos explaining what you did or showing your work to Seesaw. I love you so much. Know that you're all rock stars, you're all mathematicians, and you are all wonderful at number bonds. Have a great day. Mwah! Okay, welcome to the last part of this math lesson. For this activity, you will need 2 sheets of paper out of your math packet. I'm going to have you go there. You don't need to pull them out. You can actually just use a pencil and work kind of through your math packet as you see fit. But we're going to be on lesson 5 problem set. You can identify or find this page by looking for cats and apples or checking the page number for page 13. 13 is made with a 1 and a 3. You'll also need page 14, which says lesson 5 homework, and it has some panda bears and some penguins on it. So these actually happen to be, I like when they're on the same page back to back, but they are separate, and I just want you to make sure that you hold on to your homework page because there will be the problem set for Thursday's lesson on the same page that we'll get to. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My kindergarten friends know what always is the first thing on your paper is your... The first thing on your paper is your... If you don't write your name, we won't know whose paper it is. So you need to write your name on your paper, please, and thank you. I know that sounds kind of silly right now because you'll probably be able to figure out whose paper it is when there's maybe only 1 or 2 or 3 kindergartners at home. But this is wonderful practice. Some of you may not have written your name in weeks, and that is a total kindergarten skill that you need to leave with being an expert. So practice, practice, practice writing that name as many times as you can because you won't get better unless you practice it. So my name is at the top of my paper like always. If we need to write the date, I know today is April, which is the number 4 because it's the 4th month in the year, 4-21-20. You guys were my first ever class to become expert rock stars at writing the date, so I have total faith that you can do that. Let's get started. This direction here says write numbers to fill in the number bonds. Oh boy, I don't know what she's talking about. Write number bonds, write numbers, filling in number bonds. What is she talking about? Stay with me. We're going to do this one together. We're going to look at these as 4 different problems. Here's the first one, the second one, the third one, and the 4th one. We are going to use these pictures to fill in the parts and the whole of the number bonds with numbers. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's get started. Here, our first job is to figure out what the 2 groups are. Are they talking about elephants and tigers? Are they talking about dump trucks and backhoes? Are they talking about girls and boys? What do you think? What are the 2 separate groups in this one picture? I definitely see cats. Oh, you see some cats that are sitting and some cats that are jumping or leaping. Totally, those are the 2 separate groups, okay? There's only 2 groups. They all have to be in one of those groups. We have 2 cats that are jumping, and how many cats that are sitting? 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. It looks like they want to start with our parts here because that's on top. And look at that. They've already filled in one of our circles. They filled in a 2. Take a second to think, or you could even say out loud, what is that 2 telling us about? Did you say the cats that are jumping? Yes. That 2 is talking about the cats that are jumping. Well, if we already have the cats that are jumping taken care of here, what do you think this part is for then? Oh yeah, the cats that are sitting, totally. And how many cats are sitting in this picture? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Write a 3. Oh yeah. Now I knew that that 3 had to go in that circle because it is one of our parts
and our parts only have one sidewalk. Now we're talking about the party circle. Oh, yeah. Party circle means all the pieces or the parts are invited. How many parts or how many cats are there all together that are invited to this party? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's write a 5. Trace down the side and around like that, back to the top, and give it a hat. Nice work. Remember, when we're talking about that whole or the party circle, we don't care what the creatures are doing, what color they are, what they look like. We're counting all of them together because they are all invited to our parties. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to give you a little bit more thinking time, a little bit more doing time, and then you can check my work to see if you were correct. Oh, golly, though. Hold up. Wait a minute. What's going on? Because I see all these cats are looking kind of a little bit the same. And what happens if they're all the same and I don't know what my two parts are? They're all the same color. They're all the same shape. They're all doing the same thing. But they gave us a number. At least they wanted to help us out to know what the whole group is. They said there are 5 cats all together. Let's check to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are certainly 5 cats all together. So they did that. They did a good job there. Let's give them a thumbs up. Wow, wow. Now we need to find the 2 parts. Like I said, what are the parts when they're all the same? Guess what? There's no cats in this picture that are leaping. That means all of them are doing the same thing. And guess what one of your parts is allowed to be? 0. Here we have 5 sitting cats. And how many leaping cats? 0. Go ahead and fill in this number bond to show me that you have 5 in one group and 0 in another group. Pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to fill mine in, see if you were correct. I know if one of my parts is 5, I'll have to write a 5 in the part. And if my other part is 0 because none of the cats are doing anything different, I can put a 0. Guess what? There are 2 different ways to make 5. You can make it with a group of 2 and a group of 3, or you can have them all doing the exact same thing. 5 and 0 makes 5. Good job. Let's move down here to these apples. I'm going to go a little bit quicker so that I don't lose your interest or your focus, and then you will be able to do your homework page all on your own. Here I see 1, 2, 3 apples. Oh, if I just counted all the apples together, that number goes in my party circle. So that's the number 3, talks about all the apples together. Well, I do see what my 2 different groups are here, and remember, that's really my first job. I should have done that first to figure out what my 2 separate groups are. Do you notice anything different about these apples? Oh my gosh, 2 of them have bites out of them. Are you kidding me? That's silly. 2 apples have bites taken out of them. They've been munched and crunched on. 1 apple has nothing out of it. There are my 2 separate groups. The apples that had been munched and the fresh apple with no munchies. How many apples have been munched? 2, exactly. How many apples are nice and fresh with no crunches out of it? Just 1. That is what my number bond would look like. There are 3 altogether, but when you break them into their groups, 2 of them have had crunchies taken out and 1 of them is still fresh. 3 is the same as 2 and 1. How about over here? Oh, this is looking a lot like the cats. I don't see any apples here that have munchies and crunchies taken out of them. Do you agree? That's okay. It's okay if they're all the same. That just means the other group or the other part is going to be 0. Let's start with the parts here since this number bond shows me the parts on the left side. I see parts of how many munchy, crunchy apples have bites taken out of them? Exactly none of them. The math word for none is 0. Good job. How many are fresh and new? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job. And how many apples do I have all together in my group? I know 4 and 0 more gives me 4. Nice job, my friends. I have been talking for way too long. You need to get working on some independent work. So your job is to work on this homework sheet. Remember, it's lesson 5 homework. Please write your name and the date at the top. Then you can work through these different stories, and they actually want you to make up a story down here about the penguins. So maybe that's something you could videotape or record and put on Seesaw for us to hear. Down here, they also want you to write your number sentences. So you're going to write in here, the part, and the part is the same as the whole. And remember, that word whole starts with a tricky W. It's a WH, whole. Write that whole word so I don't confuse anybody. This says blank and blank make blank. They want to ask you the part and the part is the same as the whole. So you can fill in that number sentence. Best of luck. Can't wait to see your penguin stories. Can't wait to see your pictures uploaded. Remember, you want to hold on to this because this will be our work for Thursday. Good luck. Thank you for joining me for a math lesson today. This is one of my favorite units to teach, so I just want to be in our classroom teaching it. But that's okay. Love you guys so much. Have a great day. If it's nice, get outside. Mwah!